Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Happy hump day. I am solo today, and we're halfway to the weekend, so can't complain about that. But the Bears are back at OTAs today after their OTAs yesterday got canceled due to violating the league's no contact rules during OTAs last month in the month of May. The Bears can now focus on minicamp, which starts next week, so stay tuned for that. And just want to put it out there, we're not sure how it got leaked to the NFL about the contact drills. There could have been a picture. There could have been a player that was concerned about it and reported it. We don't know who. Once we know that information, we'll make sure we post that on our Instagram and our Twitter. Make sure you go follow both of those in order to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news. But today, we are going to continue our review of the different areas of the Bears and what they need to do in order to get ready for the season. In today's group, the tight ends. There are some new faces in the room, entirely almost all new faces in the room besides Cole Kmet. And that is who their leader is. So stay tuned. We're going to hit a little bit on what we expect out of him because, you know, his seat's a little hot after 2 seasons so far. Can't blame him too much because of the coach that will not be named. Right, Ron? Absolutely. We are not naming him. So we're looking to show that this, you know, that this group can be a legit group of tight ends. It's a little bit questionable. It has some veterans in there. It has some young guys in there. And we are just going to keep hitting on all the different groups. We're almost done with we actually are done with the offense after today. So defense starts tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But before we begin, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Stupid Car Tray. Tired of your pizza toppings sliding, office coffee distracting you while driving, grease and other stains getting on your seat, or you're just enjoying a game on the couch and don't want to lean over? Look no further than the Stupid Car Tray. Visit www.stupidcartray.com and use discount code J16 to get 16% off your entire order. Link in the description. And now Stupid Car Tray has cup and mug holders. You can never have too many cup holders in your car. The Stupid Car Tray allows you to be able to place Slurpees, Hydro Flasks, Yetis, and more to be safe and secure during your ride. Use code 16J, 16JAY at checkout to get 16% off your entire order. So let's get into it. Who are the tight ends of the Chicago Bears for this upcoming season or entering training camp so far? There is no confirmation if they'll be on the roster or not. But we got 6 of them entering training camp. We have Cole Kmet at 6'6", 260, 23 years old. We have Ryan Griffin at 6'6", 255 at 32 years old. He came from the New York Jets. We have James O'Shaughnessy, 6'4", 245, 30 years old. He is new from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have Rysen John, 6'7", 240, 24 years old, and he is from the New York Giants. Chase Allen, 6'6", 255, 24 years old, rookie out of Iowa State, and I really like this guy, so stay tuned for that. And Jake Tonges, 6'4", 220, 22-year-old rookie. 6 total guys, big group of guys, if you couldn't tell. A lot of these guys could actually play legitimately small forward in the NBA, so thought that was kind of funny. But this is Cole Kmet's group. This is 100% his group, even though he is actually looking at the numbers, the second youngest in this group. This is his. He is the longest Bear in this group. He's the most respected by his teammates and the franchise. And he has a lot to prove in year 3, especially after a rough first 2 years, which is not entirely his fault. There's no doubt about it. There were some plays that Kmet, dropped the ball, couldn't fight for that extra yard. But hey, it's not his fault that the offensive scheme was not tight end friendly the last couple seasons for him. So, quickly, just want to say you're going to see a lot of more plays involving the tight end Luke Getsy's playbook, and especially on slants for short gains. Nagy always was trying to get the first down on third down with the tight end, and you can't do that. In today's NFL offense, slants with the tight end, quick out routes in order for them to fight upfield and take down smaller defenders is always a lot better, and it seems to be beneficial. I mean, look at guys like Gronkowski, Travis Kelce. Those kind of players are all just dominating in regards to going against guys smaller than them, able to use that 6'4" plus size, 250 plus size, and stiff arm guys. So, a lot of them, that's good. What you're going to see Luke Getsy be hopefully a lot more aggressive in that regard. But also, with our new talent, with this new group, there is a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent in a lot of different ways. And all these guys are monsters. Again, they could be small forwards in the NBA, all being above 6'4", going up to 6'7". That's pretty darn impressive. So what we should see at camp this upcoming season for the Chicago Bears is Cole Kmet's going to be leading the way of this group. Just want to put that out there, that Cole Kmet is 150% the leader of this group. And I can't state that enough because of the mere fact that Cole Kmet has been the longest guy on the roster, but also he is a longtime Bears fan. It's not like he's one of these guys. And it's funny because we have two guys from the Chicagoland area that now play for the Bears. But you have someone that wants to succeed. He knows that he was held back the last couple of years in the offense that he was placed in. And that's not really fair to him. And he will be that guy we want him to be. Even with a new play caller, he has the best relationship with Justin Fields as well. So, he has shown early in his career that, I'm speaking for Justin Fields. Justin Fields does like to use the tight end. It's a good, safety for him. He does have success for it, but that's not where he was told to throw a lot of the time, unfortunately. So, having that relationship with Kmet already is huge, especially for Justin Fields and Kmet himself. Overall, just expect more tight end plays too. I mean, especially in the red zone. Getsy is clearly much more of a friendly play caller for any of his players on the team. And unlike previous years, and there's going to be a lot more packages involving the tight end, especially big guys. You're going to have St. Brown, wide receiver, definitely out there in red zone packages. Kmet, maybe John, Griffin, any of the new guys. They're going to be out there, and you're going to want to have big targets going against smaller defenders. That's just how you want to do it. And that puts pressure on the defense because if you have a bigger defender, you have to put your linebackers, probably double team guys, or you might have to throw a different package out there and they're not ready. They're not sure what to expect. And also a whole new playbook for the Bears is dangerous in their favor. So that's always good to see. And another thing that I want you guys to look out for, or what you should see at camp, is a lot of Chase Allen. Chase Allen was the first undrafted rookie free agent picked up by the Chicago Bears at 6'6", 251. And he's one of the biggest guys on our roster. I mean, he's the third biggest tight end out of the six. And a lot of people are shocked that he went undrafted. Was aimed to be a 5th to late or 7th round pick. He went undrafted, unfortunately for him. Obviously every player wants to get drafted into the NFL, but now he's got an even bigger chip on his shoulder and he wants to go out there. And he's from Iowa State. He was a captain, so he knows what it takes to be a leader. And that's something that I've noticed with Ryan Poles is that he's picking up a lot of ex-captains of teams, which is great because they know leadership. They know what it takes to win. And they are going to put their heart on the line every single play of the game. So personally, I like seeing him at tight end 3. I'm just throwing that out there before we get to our top players. But I really see this guy making the roster. Even if he's a special teams guy, he plays with a lot of energy. He has a lot of character to him, and he's going to be likely a fan favorite. And again, that size, 6'6", 251, and being athletic, fast, that's big money right there. Ryan Griffin will also be another player to look out for who is hungry to get on the football field. He previously played for the Jets and the Texans. Texans drafted him, played for the Jets last, and now he signed with the Chicago Bears. He had his best year of his career with the Jets, though, back in 2019, where he had 5 touchdowns. He isn't a big name player, but he's had a good career as a, overall role player for any single team all the teams that he's played for. He may have to fight for a roster spot, though. That age does hurt him a little bit, and Ryan Poles does want to go younger. I was just saying how Chase Allen is young, and he's nearly the same exact size as Griffin. So, I mean, you could see them both make the roster, but there's another guy on the roster that you have to look out for that also has a lot of experience. So Ryan Griffin is definitely going to be playing hard in camp. Look out for that. And the guy that I was just hitting on was James O'Shaughnessy, local Chicagoland guy. I believe he's from Naperville. Hopefully he's not one of those guys that says, I'm from Chicago, and he's really from Naperville. But he grew up a Bears fan, and he knows what, just like Kmet, he knows what it takes and what it means to put on that shirt and how special that jersey, those colors, that helmet, and play in front of the greatest fans on the planet. So look for him to be very excited on and off the field, just being in the moment, interacting with everybody, and to not only stay here, but to show his appreciation for the franchise signing him. And also shout out to him, ex-Illinois State guy, Roll Birds, trying to get him on the podcast. So if you guys want to help us out and tag him and be like, hey, you should get on these guys, they like you a lot, that would be greatly appreciated. But what is the key area of focus for the tight ends as individuals and what Luke Getsy should be looking out for? Let's just get into it. They really need to evaluate everyone well in training camp. The tight end group for the Chicago Bears has struggled probably since, I would say, about 2017 or since Zach Miller's injury, unfortunately, which I love Zach Miller, by the way. Great guy, awesome guy. If you guys don't know who he is, ex-Bears tight end. I know most of you guys do remember Zach Miller, though, and that horrible injury that he sustained and tried to come back to the field, but he's not. He still works for the Bears, though, which is great. But the Bears group as a whole, since he has left, has struggled. And besides Jimmy Graham's 10 touchdown season in 2020, the entire group hasn't been exactly the greatest. And again, that's because of coach that we shall not name, offensive style. Field knows that also he likes throwing to tight ends. And that's something that Getsy should be like, okay, we need to incorporate this more into this team. Clearly, Justin Fields likes it. It's a good protection, and it definitely helped the Bears' red zone numbers this upcoming season. Also, another thing is, while evaluating these guys, who would be great for special teams? Having a big dude at 256 running down the field, popping your return guy, it's going to shake somebody up a little bit, not in injury wise, but be like, okay, I'm afraid to go out and get it because he's still on the other side of the ball when I'm running it up the field. And also, it never hurts to have more tight ends on the roster, and you have to have guys. It's usually DBs and wide receivers, but a couple extra tight ends probably wouldn't hurt considering their size and their impact on the team. So, and, it helps out in regards to getting more playing time, getting recognized, getting better, staying in the weight room in the NFL, making sure that they're becoming a better player and understanding the playbook, keeping them around. Chase Allen seems like he's a beast. And if he doesn't make this roster strictly because he's an undrafted rookie free agent, I could see him on the practice squad, or if he does, being a special teamer, at least for the first year. Ryan Griffin and James O'Shaughnessy are both on one-year contracts. And then finally, speed. How fast you can get these guys up and down the field. How fast can they make a move? How fast can they outbe a defender? That is what the Bears need to look into 100% in regards to these tight ends. Sure, blocking is obviously number one, because we definitely need that if we're going to be more aggressive running to the outside. But we also need speed. With Justin Field having the cannon that he has, the third best deep ball quarterback in the NFL, and also guys that can do those little split routes or slant routes that I was talking about earlier to make sure that they can get away from defenders. Just want to put that out there and make sure that they can move the chains. That is what the Bears need. They were one of the worst offenses in the NFL last year. Let's at least get into the middle tier this upcoming season. Again, growing pains. We're not going to be a top 5 offense, but it'd be great if we are. Just putting that out there. And then finally, just want to go through who I think is going to be the roster of this team in the tight end group this year. Number one, Cole Kmet. He has a prove it year. If he doesn't progress this upcoming season, even a little bit, and in a tight end friendly offense, by theory, polls may need to consider using an early round pick on another tight end. Tight end number 2, I got James O'Shaughnessy. I think his experience helps him a lot at tight end too. He is not the answer long term, but he could be. I mean, he's been in a very bad Jacksonville Jaguars offense, but he is on a 1-year deal. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to be a tough tight end to take down. He has been his whole career, and he's a good run blocker. So excited to see him out there. Ryan Griffin, I have at tight end 3. I know I kind of said I think Chase Allen's going to make it, but Chase Allen's next on my list if we keep 4 tight ends on the roster. But Ryan Griffin, his veteran presence and his size is huge in understanding the NFL. So I think that he could be a good target for Field, but we'll see in camp. I mean, he might favor somebody else, and that makes decisions for the front office. Practice squad / tight end 4, Chase Allen. I really like that the Bears got it. I've said it a million times already, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I really do like him. I think he can be a fan favorite with his style and play and energy, excuse me. But having 2 vets come in from free agency hurts his chances of making the roster. So, I could see, at least keep him on the practice squad, Ryan Poles, just keep him around. He's a great presence, and I really like it. Rysen John, hadn't hit on him much, but he was picked up right after the Jesper Horsted did not pass his physical, still wishing him the best and that he continues his NFL career. But he's a big target at 6'7" and could be a great red zone target too. I think the Bears should potentially consider converting him to wide receiver. He's a big athletic guy. He could be another just threat to the red zone. But imagine having St. Brown, Kmet, John, and Griffin in the red, or Chase Allen in the red zone. That's a lot of 6'6" guys. And how are you going to defend that? Seriously, how are you going to defend that? If not, keep him on special teams, keep him around, evaluate him and put him in whenever needed. And Jake Tonges, I'm sorry, I don't know much about him. I didn't really honestly take the time in order to learn too much about him. He is an undrafted rookie free agent, and wishing him the best of luck in this NFL journey. Who knows? He could make special teams and I could be blown out of the water, and then I just look like the biggest dingo in the world. So that is our evaluation of the tight end room for the Chicago Bears this upcoming training camp. Again, a lot of these guys might not even make the roster. They're definitely not going to take the whole group. Just want to put that out there, but at least on the active roster. So just want to put that out there, but a lot to prove for the tight end group this year. And it's going to be an exciting year, especially for Cole Kmet, who's going to go out there and want to prove the world wrong that he is worth the 2nd round pick out of Notre Dame. So with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and we will have more for you guys tomorrow, starting to hit on the defense. Have a great day, Chicago.